Welcome to our lesson 7. I hope you're done reviewing the other videos for you to be able to understand more about our topics. I suggest to watch first the previous video before you proceed on this one. Alright? Now, last meeting I discussed about the for loops, the FLs, and I also give you some sample problems where we can solve using a for loops. This time, I'll be discussing the concept of switch case, an alternative way to solve the problem, especially for the case of creating a menu program. Okay, now what is exactly a switch case? Using a switch, it can allow a variable to be tested for equality against the list of values. For this one, there is what we call a case. So in each value there is a case, and the variable being switched on is checked for each case. You will know once I'll give you the sample output for this one. The syntax of switch, we have here the expression switch, that's the command in C++, then the expression and followed by the case and constant expression, and every case there is a break, okay, up to the default. You can have many cases or whatever, it depends on your problem. Okay, sometimes you can have 4 or many more, and you can actually combine the FL, the for loops with this one in just one menu program using the switch. Now let's try to discuss how this one works with the use of this syntax. The expression here on this part, which is this one, the expression, the expression, when we are talking about the expression, this can be used in a switch statement, must have an integral or enumerated type, or be a class type in which the class has a single conversion function to an integral, which is later I'll be giving you an example for you to be able to visualize on this one. You can have any number of cases here within a switch. Okay, you can have many cases in here inside or within the switch. Okay, and then each case is followed by the value to be compared to and a colon. This one, there is a colon, don't forget this one. And then the constant expression, this one, constant expression for a case must be the same data type as the variable and the switch. If it is a character or it's in integer, something like that. Okay, and it must be a constant or a literal. Okay, constant or literal. When the variable being switched on is equals to a case, the statements following here, the statements following the case will execute until a break, this part. Okay, and when a break statement is reached, the switch will terminate or stop running the program, and the flow of control jumps to the next line. Okay, it will stop performing on this part, then we'll proceed in here. Okay, so not every case needs to contain a break, so this is optional. Okay, it says there's an option, meaning the use of the break is optional, and you can actually put a case here there without the break or without any statement. Okay, So if no break appears, the flow of control will fall through the subsequent cases. So assuming there is no data here, let me say I'm going to erase this one. Let me say you just simply type in case, then your constant expression, colon, then there's no data in here, then there's another case. It means that the flow control will fall through to the subsequent cases until there is another break. It will just continue. Okay, a switch statement can have an optional default. Okay, this is actually the equivalent of else condition in the else if statement. Normally, when all of the cases heard cannot be, produces a false answer, then it will perform the default part. And if you're going to compare it through a flow diagram, when you start running a program, the first thing that the program will do, try to check your expression. And after checking the expression, it will go through the cases. So first, we'll check on the case 1. And if the condition is true, first, then we'll perform the code block 1. Okay, the statement on this area. Okay, however, if it's not, then try to move into another case, which is in the case 2, right? If the result is still not the same, then we'll proceed to another case, which is the case 3, and perform what is inside the code block 3. And then if there is a break, then it will stop in there. However, if in case none of the option is in the case 1, 2, and 3, then it will go directly to the default option. And the default, it will perform now the code block N. So assuming that's we have our code here, then terminates the program. Okay, that's how the flow diagram of using the switch statement, right? So let's have now the hands-on on this one. With the use of the switch, we just simply put here switch.cpp as our file name, just for demonstration purposes. Number include IO stream, then using name space std int main. Then we're going to put here in a bracket. So in this case, we're going to have one example. Let me say we're going to solve the problem related to a basic, let me say, a grade. We're going to assign it to a character, then the value of grade, let me say, grade. Okay, and this time we will just declare it that way. Now we have our variable name as our declaration using a character. So we can now start with our switch. From here, there is a switch, then grade. All right. So inside the grade, we can put in curly braces. This is where we're going to put our case. Sample case, let me say A, then colon. And in this case, we can put, let me say, the condition if your grade, if the user entered the value of A, let me say 1A, then it will display as Cout. Excellent. All right. Excellent job. Good job. I hope you can get a good grade as well. Okay. Now after this one, we can add the break option. All right. So in this case, we will be asking the user to enter, okay, C out and enter a grade using a letter. Okay, we will ask the user to enter for this one, and Cn, we're going to get the value stored in a grade. Okay, so what will happen here, whatever the user will enter into a grade, then it will try to compare here. So this grade coming from here, and assuming the value entered by the user is A, then this will be printed. Excellent. Right. Now I will add another case. Let me say this time it's B. And if the users enter B, I can just copy this one, so I don't need to keep on typing it. Let me say this one is, okay, for this purpose, I'll just make this blank. Okay, so we can have the test. I'm going to get another case here. This is C. So like that, assuming we're not going to put anything on the B. Okay, we just go directly on the letter C. So this one, well done. All right, now I'll copy this so I don't need to keep on retyping it, and go to, oops, this is letter D. Now in the valid letter D, you can say you pass. All right, now let's add another letter. Let me say I'm going to use the letter F. Okay, this time letter F, you failed, or study again. Study again and try harder. All right, now in the default, we can put here default. So there is no need for you to put any condition. In the default, we can say C out, invalid option. Try again. Okay, something like that. And at the end line. Okay, now we're done with our default. So in this area, we're going to add the C out, your grade is, okay, let me say grade, and end line. All right, so we can also put here the return 0. Okay, now we're done with our code. So the concept that this one, we will be asking the user to enter the value for our grade. So the option that the user can only enter either letter A, B, C, D, and F. If the user enter A, this one will be printed. And if the user selected D, then this one will be printed. And if letter F, this one will be printed. Okay, however, if none in here, then we'll go to the default, which is the invalid option. Try again, and we'll proceed to displaying this one. Your grade is, we'll get the value. Great. Now, if we're going to run this program, let's see, let's try to find out the results. Okay, let's wait for a little bit. I'll be creating now. Okay, let me say I'm going to enter here letter D. So you passed. Your grade is D. Okay, let's try again, another one. If the user enters entering letter C, what is the output if we're going to select the letter C? Sorry, letter C. Well done, your grade is C. Okay, clear this one, which is displaying this. How about if we're going to press letter B? Let's see what's the effect. Will it display something or will move to the next line? Okay, if we're going to print B, well done, your grade is B. So just copy in what's the value of B? What's the value of B? As you noticed here, it means that the B and C has the same output. Even if you enter here B, it will display here. And if you enter C, this one will be printed. Okay. Now let's try the other letter which is not in the invalid option. Try again. Your grade is R. Okay. Let's try again. What if the user enter a lowercase? Let's say small letter A. Supposed to be, it would say excellent. How come that the program did not recognize it? So it will go to the last option. Because C language is a case-sensitive program, then the lowercase and uppercase are totally different. Now to solve this problem, we have the option here. You can either put here case, then small letter A, and of course put the colon. Okay, let's try to run again. Supposed to be it will display now the you're excellent or excellent A. Excellent. Okay, you got it right. So same process when you put here in the B, C, D, and E. You just simply put here, same process. Okay, always remember when you are using a character, you have to enclose it in a single quote or a double quote. But commonly used are single quote. But if it is a number, then there is no need to put a single quote here. And make sure that you have the same data type so you will not get an error. Another way to solve this problem, okay, some are using it, which is, this is what you call the method of to upper. Even if the user enter is small or lowercase, you can apply the method called to upper. Okay, so one, just put here to upper. Okay, what will happen here if the users enter a lowercase letter, it will be converted into an uppercase, the to upper method. Okay, let's try to run a program. In this case, let's see, I'll put it here letter C, small letter C. It can recognize the letter because it is converted into an uppercase. See, that's the use of to upper. Is there a to lower? Let's see. There's also a to lower. However, there is a problem because we put here as a small letter, I mean uppercase. Let's say I make this one as a small letter. Okay, let's try to run first the first option. Okay, if I'm going to enter here letter A, it will say your grade is A. How about if the users enter the upper case? Okay, I'll be running here again to upper case. A while ago I should be using to upper, this time is lowercase. Let me say this one, uppercase letter A. It will now be converted to a lowercase. Your grade is A. So You can choose which option in there, because if you're going to run this one, letter C to a small letter, let me say I will type here letter capital C. Oops, did I like that? Oops, what did I put in here? To lower. You enter a grade using a letter. Let's try again. To lower. Okay, what did I put in here? Okay. Let's try to run again. Let me say I'll be typing here B. Invalid option, which is a B. So it means you can only apply this option either, let me say you put this one, let small b, then C, like that. And if somebody is trying to type in an uppercase, let me say I'll be typing, if the two lower will work, let's try. I'll be typing here the capital B. Okay, so it's working. So that's the option that you can do on this one. To lower, if someone is typing in uppercase, then it should be opposite here. When you use the to lower, then here it should be lower, so that when someone entered in uppercase, then it will be converted. However, if you use the to upper, then make sure that in here you have to use the uppercase letters. Okay, and you can also add more formula in here, more examples on this one.